to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Fort Flint City Council regular meeting of March 10, 2026 in the Linda Hartlop Chambers at Fort Flint City Hall. Would you please stand for a moment for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent reflection for those protecting and serving our country.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman,
Excused.
Richard Morgan,
Here.
Carmen Daff,
Excused.
Avery Robinson, Kathy King,
Here.
Pat Hovis, Jerry Tiroli.
Here.
Thank you, Council. You previously received the February 24, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, make a motion to approve the minutes for February 24th, 2026.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Hovis. I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, a second by Ms. Hovis to approve the February 24, 2026 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Motion carries. The minutes are approved. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation and public comments.
Robert Miller, 5296 East
Mellowthorpe.
Mellowthorpe Drive.
Yeah.
You can speak.
You know, I was here last year or the year before. I'm the school bus driver. I'm wondering, I'm hearing all kinds of stories on these streets. You had phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I didn't see much done on phase 2. We got these streets, and I heard the money was spent somewhere else. I heard you didn't pay Erie paving and that, and I'd like to know what's going on with these streets.
Well, first thing, you don't believe everything you hear.
I agree. I'm
Okay.
just telling you what I
What's
heard
wrong?
out.
And that's natural. Erie asphalt's been paid. They're gonna come back and do some work that's not holding up in less than a year's time. Let's see, what was the money, where the money went somewhere else?
Well, I don't know, because you had the monies for all these streets to be done. And, you know, we drive our school buses on it, they take a beating. I said about Veterans Parkway, which is terrible, that you got veterans and that street there is not taken care of, which should have been on the priority list. You got the street on Jefferson, just before you go into there by 7th Street, and that, which is, there's a hump there, which, why they stopped the asphalt there, which they should have went to 6th Street. Then you got, I drive a school bus down 7th Street. I don't go down there no more. I gotta go all the way around. That's terrible. If I was a taxpayer, I would really be outraged if I had a street on 7th Street and even by Pat's, where the buses all go down Pat's over there. Why these streets wouldn't be a priority and take care of something there, then the other ones, even coming down on Fulton now. I mean, it's not, and everybody likes to know. And I said, I'm going to the meeting, we'll find out what's going on with
Sure, I
this.
appreciate that, and you raised great questions. 7th Street's a disaster. I'll be the first to admit it. That is on the list. More than likely, construction will start this fall. I've been on this job since November, okay? I'm amazed that there's not a day goes by since I've been here, there hasn't been conversation with an engineering, a design firm, a contractor, our consultant, or our special projects coordinator that we have. It is a huge priority. You don't realize what goes into the funding. We can't order a contractor or a contractor come and fix Washington Street. We'll come up with the money. The money has to be in hand before we can release that bid. So there's about 6 or 7 different funding agencies. Lisa signed a letter tonight to go to, well, that was for the capital budget. Earlier, she signed letters that were asking a congressional representative, our congressman, our 2 senators, to be make Port Clinton part of the ask during the congressional earmarks, that they pick out certain projects and they can give money. Now, a lot of other cities are doing that too. We built a pretty good program for that. But there's so many different funding streams that come into it, and they all have to come together. Now, you mentioned 7th Street, Washington Street, 4th Street, Jefferson Street. That's one project. The whole, okay? You know what's holding that up?
No.
Railroad. They won't approve the plans that the contract or the engineer has submitted. They're evaluating it. And if you ever dealt with a railroad, nothing happens in a hurry. Okay? Once we get there, and we cannot at this point take the chance of starting the project, and the railroad says, no, you can't run it the way you want to. They have their specs. The engineering firm designed their plan. They don't quite match up to try to keep the cost down. We can't put the bids out and have a contractor start working, and the railroad says, no, you can't go that way. You have to go this other. Then that changes the whole process. We had to change the fall on a sewer line on Jefferson Street 0.25% because the EPA wouldn't approve it. You don't realize how many hoops there are to jump through. And believe me, nobody wants these streets fixed up quicker than the administration. They've lived it for a long time. I've been here in November. I'll be out of here sometime probably this summer. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can, and everybody else is too, to make this thing work. But it's an incredible process. We have to get loans approved to pay back, to put the money up front as far as to cover the cost of these projects. There's a Harrison, West Perry, and Jackson Street, Monroe Street, what you're talking about. There's going to be a roundabout put at that intersection. But it won't be to 2028. So don't hold your breath. It's going to be a while. But it takes a while. There's a pump station on there. That's $3 million just for the pump station. So we are, trust me, and you can come sit in our meeting sometime if you want to see what's going on. But we're not stealing the money. It's not going up for vacations or anything like that. The money that's being generated from the infrastructure fund is in an account. That's the money that'll be drawn from when it's time to pay these contractors and put the bids together.
Well, how about Pat Street? Buses go down there all the
Pat's drive-through.
Fulton Street.
Yeah,
Are you talking about Fulton Street?
no,
Lake
Pat's,
Drive by Ridge?
yeah, right by Rich. Not Pat's,
no.
Riches.
Riches.
He's talking
Right.
about Lay Drive.
Lay Drive.
Lay Drive.
It is terrible.
6th and Fremont Road.
Oh, between 6th Street and Fremont
Yeah,
Road?
the buses go down there, and then even on Veterans.
Well, I know
So,
Clinton,
let
I
me-
know Clinton and Taft Street are on, they'll be in this next phase.
Right.
I honestly, I'm not sure about, I haven't heard that, but I would guess that little stretch, I would think something could be done there. But you can't just smear a little blacktop on top of the road.
I agree.
A lot of these 4th Street's gonna be a total reconstruction from Fulton Street all the way down to Monroe Street. And
So
people will be
the
thrilled
roads-
about that.
yeah, the roads that have been done so far with the mill and fill are not having any underground work. A lot of the other roads are having underground work. So you don't want to fix the road, put all that money into it, then tear everything up to do
I
the
know you did
underground.
Buckeye and you did State. That was
Buckeye was the
Oh,
county's
that's
water
what
line
that was.
project. That was the county's water line project.
Yeah, that was a
They paved
kind,
it.
yeah, there've been streets done, down by the high school, they were done, 10th Street, I mean, there was a lot of mill and fill streets.
So
In the
just,
west end, those were all done.
But what I heard 2 years ago, you had the funds to do the streets.
well, hang on a second,
Somebody
hang
else had to
on.
answer that.
Let me just explain real quick. So there's different phases, and I know you said it's not, why wasn't this done? Because it was a priority. They didn't do it in the priority fashion, like this is the most serious street, let's do this first. Because the ones that are the more serious ones are gonna require underground work. So when they started last year with the Erie paving, they did only the mill and fill. So like all the dead end streets across the street from the high school, those all got it except 8th, because I think 8th or 9th is gonna be a full redo. And the other streets that they just did the mill and fill, those are done. Mr. Sass indicated they might have to come back and fix a couple of things. But now, this summer, going out for bids to do the underground work. So they're gonna tear up the bad streets. Seventh, I believe, Seventh is gonna be one of those, and it has the bricks. So part of doing that is they have to remove all those bricks first.
Right.
And then they
The
have
sewer.
to do the underground stuff, and then they're gonna fill it. So that's part two. So the ones that you're gonna see this summer are the ones that need the underground stuff done first, and then those will be fixed. Now, also, at the same time, is the Lake Shore revetment project. I don't know if you've been on Lake Shore, but they're fixing that as well. That's also part of it. With regards to the money, we received grant money from the federal government. However, due to all the shutdowns and everything that's been occurred, we have not yet physically gotten that money. The federal government's still holding it. They give that to us on a per project basis. So we, as Mr. Sass explained, we have the next project coming up. We're gonna receive whatever grant money we got, but we also have loans out, and then we also have the water and sewer fee that's out. It's a combination of a lot of different funds, but the money's not just sitting here.
Well, that Rich's Street, that Lay Street.
Yeah, but the thing is that's gonna be,
Buses go down all the time and
right,
come in, and that's by the school right there.
It is.
I'll check and see where that's at.
but that's over by Taft, and that's over by Clinton.
Those
Right.
are those being done.
Those are gonna be done, so that's gonna be done at the same time as Taft and Clinton. Like Mr. Sass indicated, they're not going to jump around and just do random streets for random purposes. There is a plan in place. This has actually been one of the largest plans in Ohio that's been done, and a lot of these architects, a lot of these designers, they are very interested in making sure that this, comes to fruition. So you're seeing different phases. I understand that driving a school bus, I take my son to Baton, those roads are horrible. Clinton is terrible, Taft is terrible, Lay is terrible. But what you have to understand is they're not going to just pave a street that they're gonna next year have to rip it all out just to do the underground part. They had to do based on the
Right, I
funding.
understand that, but-
Yeah, based on the funding. Initially, the mayor wanted the underground to happen first, but based on the way that the city received the funding, they had to flip-flop it and do the mill and fill first.
How about Veterans? Veterans Street.
Monroe Street.
That's Monroe Street. That's a redo completely. So they're not gonna pave it until they do the underground first. That's phase two. We're entering phase two. You'll see work being done in the summer, once
All right.
so it just,
Even on
unfortunately,
Jefferson, I couldn't understand
Jefferson
it.
is also the same
But
thing.
Jefferson, they came up to where you go into the board office at First Street, Jefferson. Why they didn't continue?
Because they're gonna do underground
In
work.
that area.
There's gonna be underground work done. That's why they couldn't continue, because, they're gonna have to rip
Well,
it
if they're
out.
gonna do Seventh, they'll probably finish that.
Yep.
Cause there's a dip in that,
Yeah,
that's,
and
That'll be
if
done at one time.
and if you could see the pieces of the streets you're putting together, they're they're all individual projects. So once
Right.
they do one section, they'll move to another section, they'll move to another section. The goal at the end of this project, and it's a huge project, is to touch every single street in the city of Port Clinton, either through a mill and fill or through a complete redo of the street.
a redo is what, the sewers?
A redo is the
That's
sewers,
everything.
underground,
Right.
then they're gonna, after they do the underground work, then they're gonna fill it and, obviously pave it.
Right, you wanna do it right the first time so you don't come back and
Exactly.
have to,
So the-
I understand
So
that.
unfortunately, the school is, in a very busy area where, cars, I'm sure you see the pickup line, you
Oh.
got cars everywhere.
Baton, yeah, I go to
So
Baton. I
lots
go-
of traffic, lots of buses, it's getting beat up pretty badly, but they have to get that underground stuff done first.
Yeah. And
So,
you think Lay Street will be,
yeah, it's gonna be part of that Clinton Taft area right there, cause they're not gonna do one section and then leave and then,
well, yeah, I
it's gonna be
understand that.
within that, so.
Yeah, cause that's a small street, that's from Fremont, which is decent, right to
Right.
Sixth Street right there.
Right. So
You know.
it's just a matter of being patient and,
Well, they want to know what's going on. I says, well, I'm gonna go to the meeting and.
tell them
Go
to
to
sit
the-
tight.
We're glad you did.
Yeah, tell them to sit tight
All
and
right.
we'll be getting the underground going. And when they
All
start
right.
complaining about construction, tell them this is progress. This is good.
Also tell them we're up here every Tuesday, second and fourth Tuesday of the month.
Oh, I know that. That's why I don't
You
get
know,
off all the
We get a lot
time.
of these keyboard warriors that know what's going on, but they don't ask administration or us what's going on.
Well, that's why I came in. I was in here 2 years ago when they said they had phase 1, 2, and 3 and that. And, that I just saying by Riches, and that's a main street, real main street, and them holes are, the cops, I mean,
We
they're
know.
terrible,
Right.
and
We
the
know.
one there,
Well,
so.
We'll get at least.
The other ones I could kind of content with for that, but, oh,
That street needs a little TLC.
Have they put any cold patch on Lay Drive? Have you seen any
you
cold
can't,
patch?
you can't even put it on Lay Drive. It's,
And
the
you know
water,
what?
it ain't doing no good.
No, and you know how
We're
many,
just going around the thing, but sometimes we gotta come through there, but the patching ain't holding up. Like I say, those are the ones they told me to bring, and I could go back to busing tomorrow and they can ask me, because I said I'm going to a meeting, but I do a lot of field trips, so it always goes on with the field trips. I never get a chance to go, and I don't know, nobody else wants to go, but now I can kind of tell them and all that, so, that's all.
yeah. Also, since the gypsum plant, they were closing roads, and so a lot of the semis had to find alternate routes.
Right,
So they've been going down that way. I saw a semi driving down Taft, which is, you're kind of like, this isn't right.
right, they are going down Taft.
So unfortunately, with those road closures, the semi drivers got really mixed up and confused.
Right.
And hopefully we can get them back where they're supposed to be, so we don't have to worry about that. But
Right.
hopefully, as soon as we get the go-ahead, and, you said the
Okay.
railroad's kind of stalling us out a little bit.
I understand all those, you
Um,
got,
Lots of
bridges,
hoops
a lot of
jump through.
hoops
Yeah,
and,
lots of hoops, lots of moving
And,
parts, but I'm hoping to see work done. Because I'll tell you what, when I drive down Clinton, I think I'm gonna lose my car half the time, but, if we make it to the pickup
and
line.
you got, it's a tourist area.
Yep.
That's a
And-
big thing there and
Yep.
all that too, they
Yep.
see, but I've been down, like I say, when I go to other schools, Sandusky, their streets are pretty much all, but like I say, you got a lot of hoops in that, but that's why I thought I'd bring that. I asked them what attention should I bring up to them on that, so.
Yeah, and the reason why those streets weren't done yet, just the main part is that they need the
And you got
underground
the,
work.
like, and you got the bricks on Seventh
Yep.
Street there
And
and all
also,
that.
isn't it true that they do the ones that aren't, they don't wanna do one here if they have to drive over with heavy trucks later.
Right,
So they do
right.
all the dead ends, the ones on the outside.
Well, that one goes from Fulton to Jefferson.
Yeah.
They did that from Fulton to Jefferson and then did that stretch
Right, well-
because you got that dip in there, you
Right,
hit
and that's
that dip,
because more work needs to be done
be
there.
done, okay,
Yeah.
7th Street is a total disaster.
yeah,
I don't dispute that.
Thank you,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you,
I
Council.
want to thank you very much, I appreciate it. I'll let them know.
All right, thank
Thanks for
you.
coming in, appreciate it.
We'll move on to executive officers' reports. Council, this evening, you have new ordinances, 11-26, that administration has asked that be passed on a second read due to it being time sensitive. It will not go to a committee. Ms. Schenker may talk about that during her time. Ordinance 12-26, 13-26 can go to the full 3 reads, and that is going to be assigned to the Safety Services Public Works Committee. Resolution 26-3 will can go for all 3 reads and no committee. And again, just a reminder that the Easter egg hunt is March 28th at 10 a.m. at Lakeview Park. And if anyone would like to help volunteer, they can check with Ms. Chafee and volunteer with her. And that is all I have. Mayor's with us, treasurers.
I have a report.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so as of typically probably yesterday, so 2026. Short-term rental registration so far, 19,300. And transient occupancy tax, also known as bed tax, is $16,604.06. And then the watercraft tax is $650. Please note that those aren't due until June 1st, so they'll trickle in.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes,
Of
sir.
that 19,300,
Yes,
we don't know how many are first times and how many are reruns.
18,
18 are new?
yes,
Okay, thank you. So you do know. Very good.
I do it every day.
Thank you. Law Director report.
Thank you, Madam President. I just briefly discussed that 1126. So basically in 1999, there was a consent decree that put requirements on the city to clean up its water and sewer areas. And since then, the city has done everything needed to do, plus more. But then in 2019, former law director, Mr. Wilbur, he presented this ordinance to the federal EPA to terminate the consent decree, and then we had COVID, and then we had the disagreements between the federal EPA and the state EPA, where the federal EPA came out successful, and they were trying to make an example out of Port Clinton in a negative way, but it actually made an example in a positive way, showing how well the city is doing and how clean our water truly is. So the federal EPA reached out to Mr. Basak and said, hey, if you want to get this terminated, let's get it done now before who knows what else can happen. So that's really why we want to get this passed. Also, they're waiting on it, so we want to get it to the person Mr. Basak spoke with and get it terminated. That's really the big push to get it done now. And then if there's any other questions about the other ordinances, I could go ahead and.
I have one random question. Just like sometimes, or like in 1325, you use the word interim, but like we don't use it on any of the other ones. So I wasn't sure, like there's other ones that don't say interim. So
It's probably cut and paste.
okay. Well, I just didn't know if
Yeah,
if they all should say interim.
I mean, honestly, whether it's interim or he's acting as the director of
Yeah.
safety and service, so,
Yeah.
I'll probably keep them more consistent.
Okay.
I
That's the only one I've noticed that
Yeah,
it said
just
interim, so I just
sometimes-
wasn't sure.
Yep,
Okay.
just that little blip when you're typing it.
Oh, I know. I'm terrible at this.
And that's it, nothing further, Madam President, thank you.
Anyone on council have any questions for the law director? Okay, Mr. Sass, Safety Service Director.
Okay, yeah, the lights are back up on Lake Shore Drive. They were saw cutting along the edge of the road, and then they'll install a erosion pad between the riprap and the roadway. You may look at it as being a sidewalk, but for various reasons, it's an erosion pad. And they'll be working on that next few weeks and getting that taken care of. And that project will be done. They're done placing riprap on the revetment, so that's a nice project to get out of the way and show that something is being done, believe it or not. This past week, we were getting letters of support together from various agencies. Like I was telling the gentleman, to submit to Representative Capter and our two senators to be a part of the earmark program, for hopefully to come up with some funding for some of these projects that we're doing. The projects aren't contingent on getting that money. They'll go on, but it'd be nice to, if we could get some funding, come back home to help us out here locally. The yard waste pickup will begin, that Republic Services is doing, will begin April 3rd, every other week, starting April 3rd. Last Wednesday evening, there was a water line leak on Perry Street, just in between the auto parts store and Salvation Army. It was about 10 feet away from where there was a leak about less than a month, about 3 weeks ago. And it's just going to continue on. They were there. I was there for about an hour and a half, from maybe 8:30 to 10 o'clock. They got done about 6 a.m. in the morning. It's 8 to 10 feet deep to get down to it. And it's nasty. We're looking into possibility of, and this isn't on any of the infrastructure projects, but try to do some type of replacement of that line. It runs fairly close to the new county line that they put in last summer. The electric poles are directly over top of the city's line, so if the leak would happen nearby where there's an electric pole, we'll have to get Edison come out, stabilize the pole so they can dig around it and get to the water line. It's a horrible, horrible situation. In fact, within the 3 weeks, there's been 2 leaks 10 feet apart. There's nothing to think that that's not going to continue. So we're looking to see what we can do as far as come up, try and replace that line. It'd be from Buckeye Boulevard east to the city limits. And I think at this point, and we are working literally every day as far as trying to get these get this projects to the point where we can bid them out. The railroad, we just don't hear anything from them, and we keep laying on them as best you can, but you can only do so much. I mean, we're gonna make this thing happen. It's gonna happen. It'll probably be fall, winter for construction takes place. But bear with us. And there's no sense of smearing blacktop on top of a crummy road. It looks nice for a while, and then it's a waste of time and money. So, in order to do it, it has to be done right. But, patience, and I know this has been going on for a long time, and it's got to be frustrating. It's frustrating to everybody involved in it. But we'll give you our word. We'll keep plugging away and pushing this thing as hard as we can. Any questions for me?
I have a couple questions. First of all, the railroad, they don't own the roads. Now, I'm not dying you, but your average person, what do the railroads have to do with?
Well, you go into the viaduct on Jefferson Street, there's 2 steel supports that come down. They have their parameters of how close you can get to those.
Okay.
Because and as deep as you have to go with the sewer line, it cuts in, they're concerned about it caving in.
Fair enough.
Those supports cave in. So they have their parameters. They don't own the street, but they own the overpass.
So every overpass is where we have to fight with, well, we have to consult with.
It's not as, the one on Harrison Street, we can deal with that because it's not as deep.
Okay.
The water line, but on Jefferson, the sewer line has to be deeper, and at that they have I'm not an engineer, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio type thing, and we're deeper than that. So it makes it steeper, the trench, and they're concerned about those pillars sliding in.
I mean, they are 100 years old, you know.
Yeah, and it's not unique. It's a standard procedure that I mean, it's not unique to these here in Port Clinton. It's everywhere. They have these parameters you have to follow.
Okay. That makes sense. Another thing is the Republic thing. That's on Fridays?
Yes, starts April
We use
3rd.
our normal garbage can? But Sandy,
What,
you
go ahead, am I wrong?
No, you're good. I just wanted to,
Help yourself.
the garbage can, that they're not wanting you to use the Republic cans, not at all.
Okay.
These would be something that you may have your own.
So we use our own garbage?
Yes.
Garbage
yeah.
cans or the brown big landscaping bags that you can
Okay.
purchase.
Do we have any sticker, or if we put out there, they just trust us, or do they have a list in their truck?
They know who's paid and who's not.
Okay.
Just like the garbage people know who's paid and who's not.
Okay.
They'll sit there because they're not paid.
Okay, so our own garbage can.
Mhm.
Yes.
Do we have a limit? Can we put 10 garbage cans out?
It doesn't say that you have a limit, so it's $10 a month. You have to sign up for it. It's not, we aren't
Right.
taking away the brush pickup from the city. The city will still have our brush pickup, April through October. This is above and beyond, as many people wanted stuff for grass clippings, lawn trimmings and stuff, the fact that we can't take. They will even take thorny sticks. We will not. So those are things, and this is something that's the consumer or the community member has to pay additional for.
Yeah.
And you have to sign up for, and that information is on the flyers as well as on our Facebook page and who to contact for that information.
Perfect.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Also, in discussions with Republic, the discussion was 1 can. And I don't know how many bags though they will allow, so probably best if you or anybody else is interested in doing that is to contact Republic directly and they can
Yeah.
give you the exact specifications.
Thank you for that answer, although I liked hers better.
Well, they did not bring it up in the conversation they
I
had
don't recall a
with
number.
Jim and
I
I,
mean,
we met with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Is, animal waste considered?
No,
yard
that's not
waste?
even allowed.
It was in my yard though.
Well, it might be in New York, but most people don't want that.
Okay, just asking.
I wouldn't want to put my hand in it. I live there.
And one more thing, Mr. Sass, I'm sorry. When you were talking to Mr. Miller there, you said they're gonna do 4th Street from Fulton to Monroe.
What's the end
To
of?
Harrison.
Harrison.
Okay, so that was just, so
Yeah.
they are doing the whole thing.
I'm sorry, I don't know my streets that
Okay,
well.
all right. Okay.
Yeah, it's Harrison.
I was concerned, because it's just
Well,
as
I'm-
bad as the rest.
I'm
so
glad to hear you're paying attention.
All
That was a
right.
quiz for you.
I am paying attention, even though Ms. Jakey doesn't think I do.
I was gonna say that, sometimes you make me go.
I do that a lot.
Mr. Chase, I just, are the earmarks that you talk about, are we just asking for infrastructure stuff, or is that other stuff like fire, or, okay,
Just infrastructure work.
okay.
Thank you. All right, no city staff, we'll move on to committee reports. Finance, Ms. Otis?
I will be scheduling a finance committee meeting as soon as I get together with my people.
Thank you. Safety Services and Public Works, Mr. Trolley?
And I will let you know for the next committee meeting to discuss 1226 and 1326.
Okay, thank you. And Mrs. Goodman is not here. Move on to correspondence. Under correspondence, we have February 2026 financial report provided by Gabe Belo, the auditor. Does council wish to take any action as to the correspondence?
Madam President,
Mr.
I'd
Trolley?
like to make a motion that we approve the February 2026 financial report.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Any discussion? Okay, the motion by Mr. Troy, seconded by Mr. Robinson to approve the February 2026 financial report. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Baker Robinson,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Motion carried by a vote of 5-0. Does council wish to take any further action as to the correspondence?
Madam President,
Mr. Troy?
make a motion that we approve the correspondence.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Robinson. I have a motion by Mr. Troy, seconded by Mr. Robinson to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. Motion carries. And correspondence hereby approved. We move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have no third readings. We move on to second readings. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 9-26?
Ordinance number 9-26, an ordinance to approve the Community Housing Impact and Preservation 2026 Partnership Agreement between the City of Port Clinton and Ottawa County, and to authorize and direct the Director of Safety and Service to execute the agreement and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 9-26? Seeing none, ordinance 9-26 will move to its third reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on March 24th, 2026. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 10-26?
Ordinance number 10-26, an ordinance making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Port Clinton, County of Ottawa, State of Ohio during fiscal year ending on December 31st, 2026.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 10-26? Seeing none, ordinance 10-26 will move to its third reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on March 24th, 2026. So move on to first readings. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 11-26?
Ordinance number 11-26, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to take action to terminate the September 8, 1999 consent decree negotiated by and among the United States of America, the State of Ohio, and the City of Port Clinton, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 11-26? Seeing none, ordinance 11-26 will move to its second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on March 24th, 2026. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 12-26?
Ordinance number 12-26, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Safety and Service Director to enter into a concession license for the Lakeview Park concessions area.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 12-26? Seeing none, ordinance 12-26 will move to its second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on March 24th, 2026. clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 13-26?
Ordinance number 13-25. Let me fix that, 26. I will fix that.
Okay, that's supposed to be 20.
It is 26 because it's always the year.
Okay, that's what I thought.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the interim director of safety and service to enter into an amended right of entry agreement with the Port Clinton Lighthouse Conservancy to expand the license area at Waterworks Park to include the areas occupied by 4 landscape mounds, 13 memorial benches, and 6 picnic tables to allow for the placement of 2 additional movable picnic tables in a Waterworks Park and to modify and expand the terms of the agreement and the license fee.
Thank you. Is council wish to take any action as to ordinance 13-26? Seeing none, ordinance 13-26 will move to its second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on March 24th, 2026. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only resolution 26-3?
Resolution 26-3, a resolution to appropriate funds for the purpose of decoration of graves, conducting memorial services, and otherwise engaging in activities appropriate for the celebration of Memorial Day in 2026.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 26-3? Seeing none, resolution 26-3 will move to its second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on March 24th, 2026. Go on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
I have 2 things. First of all, Mr. Sass, have you made any information on traffic lights? I know it's not a priority, and I understand that.
Yeah, no,
I'll
that's
just
your
keep
question,
going.
no.
Okay, so no problem.
Keep
I understand
asking.
that. It's been this way for years. Another few weeks won't hurt it. The other thing I'm going to say this. I know there's a reason we can't do this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. When I lived in my previous life, I lived in Pemberville, and they have about 2.5 blocks of brick street. And I remember driving through it one time, and somebody from the city had dug a big hole. They were working on a water line down there, and I thought, this brick street's in great shape. Now it's going to have a big patch there. I came back the next day and it was gone. I couldn't see where it was, because what they did, they filled it in and they put the bricks back, and it was perfect. 25 years later, it's still perfect. Now, I know why we don't do bricks for all of our projects, because it's expensive, but is there any way that 7th Street, the bricks are there, we gotta take them out, we can lay them back? Is there any reason? I'm sure we can't do that, but
That's an art form.
Yeah, well,
And I imagine there's nobody alive in the area that can do it.
well, has it been considered?
No, and more than likely, when you're going out getting funding streams, there's gonna be a really hard sell to get ODOT or Ohio EPA or anybody to fund because that's pure beautification.
Well, see, I mean, I understand this, and I won't go on too long, I've already talked too much this meeting, but it's not, because, you know, yes, they can swale and do that thing, but so can a regular street. The brick streets in this town have been there for 100 years. 6th Street was done, what, 10 years ago? It's gonna need it again in 5-6 years. You know, asphalt doesn't last like bricks do. They last a long time, and yes, if they, I don't know what you call it, whether you divots in it, any street will do that. So and what I'm saying is if you would pack 7th Street well enough, it wouldn't happen. But I'm not saying they will approve it. It would just be, personally, it does look better, but I think it lasts
I'm
better.
interested in Doug Newser and get his thoughts on it.
And tell him I said it
Nobody's
last
ever
time.
asked about it. To me, the expense would be incredible.
So I'm not sure. You have all the equipment. You got a lot of labor putting it back in, but you already have the bricks there. You know, you don't have to buy any. You can reuse them.
If you can save all of them.
When the bricks were put in, they were put in when the horse and buggies and all that stuff was running around. Not snow plows and dump trucks and semi trucks and that type of thing. So I'll ask Doug to get it.
That's all I can ask. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate the question.
Mr. Morgan, just on the bricks, I believe, don't quote me on this, because the mayor is not here, but because of the historical value of the bricks, I believe that there was some very initial conversations about maybe auctioning the bricks off or selling the bricks to people who want a piece of the history of Port Clinton, which would be kind of neat. So that might take place.
I understand. Yeah, when they did Laurel, they did that half block. They were going to do some of the bricks, and I couldn't wait because I had a project. And then I was told the bricks went elsewhere. I don't know where they went.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's
All right.
actually
Anyway,
would come to fruition.
I just want somebody to think about it. That's all.
And I do know on Laurel the reason they ended up it was far more expensive to put the bricks back
Yeah,
down.
and again, I'm not saying I'm right, it doesn't make any sense.
Because the
but-
plan was to put the bricks back, but then
Yes, right.
it could not, it was not feasible.
Jerry and I are going
Yeah, okay,
Crazy,
thank you.
man.
That's it, that's enough.
Mr. Robinson? Thank you. Mr. Joy?
Nothing.
Mrs. Owens?
Nothing tonight.
Mrs. King?
Well, I just had a random idea because of his bricks. I'm like, I mean, just an idea, like, we could create planters or something like that for Madison that would look really nice with the historic bricks. That's just a thought. And, that was my only.
Thank you. Seeing no further business, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President,
Yes?
make a motion to adjourn this March meeting.
Yeah.
That was a
August
second.
meeting. Thank you, Mrs. King. Motion by Mr. Chifoli, second by Mrs. King to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. We're adjourned.
Oh, I cracked me up.
Oh, Jerry.
I got one thing